In 1981, a cargo ship called Primrose met with an accident in Bay of Bengal, on its voyage from Bangladesh to Australia. There was 31 people on board. They remained in a desperate situation overnight, not knowing when the ship will sink due to the storm surge and heavy rains. They were relieved on next day morning as their ship stuck at a reef. A small island was also spotted at short distance. But they didn't know they are about to face a greater threat than what they overcame, and that reef was in fact protecting them from the island. Hope turned to fear as they watched a tribal group, war crying with arrows and spears, making small boats to reach their ship. Last message from that ship said this: "Wild men, estimate more than 50, carrying various homemade weapons are making 2 or 3 wooden boats, worrying they will board us at sunset. All crew members' lives not guaranteed." They were in the North Sentinel island of Andaman and Nicobar Islands of India. It is the land of humans who are considered to be very dangerous and has not been in contact with the outside world for about 60,000 years from Stone Age. Things we and them know about each other's is very limited. For instance, they have no clue about our continents, countries, internet or religions, and we don't know whether they can create fire or make a wheel. Andaman and Nicobar Islands are a group of 572 islands in Bay of Bengal, about 1,500 kilometers east to Indian mainland. North Sentinel Island is one of the 38 islands with inhabitants. It is about 60 square kilometers in area, based on the figures from Indian government. It has a population of 39 people in 2012, whereas unofficial figures counts up to 500 people as the inhabitants of that small island. It is a scenic place surrounded by coral reefs and covered in dense forest. It was believed that the North Sentinel tribe were related to the Onge tribe in Andaman. However, in 19th century, British naval officers who reached North Sentinels with the help of Onge tribe wasn't even able to recognize their language. Moreover, they were attacked by the Sentinelese. In 1771, a British surveyor John Ritchie recorded the sighting of strange lights in the Sentinel Islands, which was the first written history of Sentinel Islands. Later in 1867, a British administrator named L. Humphrey tried to visit the island. In 1880, British Navy officer Maurice Vidal Portman entered the island and brought 4 Sentinelese, including an old man and a woman, to Port Blair. But within days, the old man and woman died as their years-long isolated bodies were unable to cope with the new environments they were in. In that situation, they returned the rest of 4 Sentinelese back to the island with gifts. After independence, Indian government initiated researches and studies about the Sentinel inhabitants in 1960s, 70s and in 1980. They were able to enter the island in several attempts and was able to find small villages and houses. However, they were unable to establish proper communication with the islanders. Later in 90s, an anthropology scientist Triloknath Pandit was able to make a peaceful contact. He tried to communicate with them, but failed. After that, in 2006 2 fishermen who unknowingly reached Sentinel Islands, and in 2018 an American missionary John Allen Chow who tried to enter the island were killed by the Sentinelese. Sentinelese are traditional hunters who hunt using arrows and spears. They are experts in fishing as well. They tend to kill anyone who trespasses into their island. Considering the fact of low immunity due to their prolonged isolation from outer world, Indian government restricted the entry to Sentinel Island by law. But this law has been froze until December 2022, and scientists can go to Sentinel Island with special permission. A protected zone has been declared at a distance of 10 nautical miles around the island, and the Indian Navy patrols there as a protection. It is quite an amazing fact that even in this 21st century such isolated people exists in this world. There are similar isolated human groups living in South America and New Guinea. But the major differentiating factor for Sentinel Island is the existence of a modern city, Port Blair, just 50 kilometers away. Even though it wasn't that hard for Sentinelese to reach outer world, or the outer world could have also reached them easily, these people still lives in total isolation.